Hey guys, this is Joey, and I'm going to show you part 3, which is the sidelines of this Tarrache variation. So right here, it's not knight f6 like probably 80% of people play here. It's a little bit better than that. It's the c5 variation. You know, so we got c5 here, and these are the sidelines that I'm going to be going over. You know, I mean, I already know I'm memorizing. I'm not just going off of this engine. You know, like this is these are the sidelines, and I already know them. So here we go. The sideline I'm talking about is first one to know is some people might get clever and play c3 because they're used to this move being available since their queenside knight didn't jump into c3. You know, therefore, as part of this presentation, I'm going to include this as the third segment of the video. And now you need to snap here. And then obviously they have to snap back. And then you play here. See, the computer's just saying knight c6, but trust me, this is the best line. See, after a little bit more analysis, you'll see the values just changing. See, now it's in black's favor, so even the computer doesn't see it right away. Then you play knight f6, and if they take right away, it's not really best play. So most of the time, they either pin it or play bishop e3. So they can pin, but first we'll look at bishop d3 since that's the first recommended move. And after that move is played, then we play bishop d7. And if they don't pin here, because they can transpose and pin it, once you know in your head, it's easy to see the transpositions. If they just play knight f3, then boom, snap, and then they snap back, obviously, and then you play this to get the development. And see, already you got 0.39 for black. I already know that computer was superficial because I've just let the same engine sit for hours and hours and get the best move. Not hours and hours, but I mean an hour for one move, and then you go and then takes another hour, go to depth 35 or something. This is depth 19. So I've gone really far in this too, and I've been tending to my memory a lot for this. So then they basically just develop our knight, and you'll see they got this ISO pawn here on the queen side, and they're not really ahead in development very much, and even the computer says advantage, they castle, and you know, it's a game of chess, but we got advantage and they're white, so there you go. And the other way that I'm explaining this is when they pin, and here there's the transpositions. The queen check can be played. The queen can come out to d5 here, or you can go into the transpositions, which is what I like doing, is just doing this, and then f1 d3. They're not going to take on f6, and if they do, it's pretty simple. But the transposition, instead of the pin right away, is 7 bishop d3. And then now we don't want to change up our line. See, this would be the same as the first thing I showed, but then now they pin. And when they pin, we play bishop e7. And this position, for a lot of reasons, is very, very important to know, because they could just naturally bring a knight out here, and now there's a tactical shot which you probably wouldn't see because it looks like they move first and they have the initiative, but in reality we get the queen back. So we take, see, this is, I mean, just look at this, negative 0.36 here. So we snap on e4, they snap on e7, and what I'm talking about here is they get to take the queen first. So what, you know, then we take a queen, and this is our advantage. If they take here, then we take the bishop, and if they save the bishop, then we can save our knight and threaten their bishop. So if they just take with the rook, obviously it's the best move, but we still got third advantage. That's why I really like this line. And then if they want to get clever and save the bishop, then we can take here, threaten that bishop. Then they move the bishop, and to that, you know, you can do that, or you can do that. See, we got 1.32 advantage. You know, we got a pawn from them. We got more material on the board, which is good. So that's kind of fancy, but it's a good line to know if you play the c5 on move 3. If you push out c5 on move 3, then check that line out. And the other component of these sidelines in the Tarrache, when you play d5 here, here, then we're gonna go over the one when, well, I mean, this is pretty easy. When they go like this, we're trying to transpose, so we need to take c5 takes, because we're trying to transpose to videos 1 and 2 when they capture on d5 and we play queen captures on d5. But now what we're going to be doing actually is going over the sidelines when the knight takes, and then you bring your knight out here, and you know, if they take, then take with the pawn, and if they play c3, then you can isolate their pawn, and it transposes exactly to this. So that's great. But that's just a sideline, and that's very universal, general. They're not playing in a convincing way at all. It's just general, universal, you know, nothing too wacky. Everything's smooth. And actually, you got a good setup there. And then the very last detail for 1 second, it's only going to take 1 second, is might look weird if they take here. You could take with your bishop if you want, but I always do this. And I actually, I'm on a pretty good game when they push here and I push here. The reason being is that either knight move here, I want to get a knight taking here to threaten the bishop. It's just the way I like to play. So there are some sidelines for the French Tarrache, and I hope you guys have a perfect day, and I'll see you later.